Well folks, how you doing? It's the last day of the year of 2024 and I was going to do this video up on the hill behind me, out in the woods. I was going to go out and find somewhere to camp, but there's a storm coming today. Apparently there's weather warnings, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to bring you the review of this one. So we've had my Pesse Canoe 40% Latakia review. This one's for the Oriental. So I'm already smoking it, or trying to. Now, I think I mentioned last time that I because it's so dry, it arrived so dry, I jarred it in the top of the lid here. I just put a cotton pad with some distilled water on it and just let it hydrate for a little while, but I think I may have overhydrated it because now it's a little bit moist. So maybe it's dry for a reason. Well, if you're expecting a regular Oriental flake, forget it. Very similar to the 40% Latakia that I've already reviewed. This one is not spicy, it's sweet. Alright. Smoking it in a cob. My old Apple Diplomat. Oh, there we go. Got it now. I'll tell you what this tastes like in just a moment, but first I'll tell you what it smells like. So as I say, I put it straight in a jar. And on the nose, you do not get anything like an Oriental at all, at all. It's in no way comparable to what I would consider an Oriental blend to be. There's no spiciness there. It's just pure sweet sugar, fruit, figs, raisins, you know, plums, stewed plums, that sort of thing. In actual fact, the thing I thought it reminded me of when I first took a sniff of that jar yesterday, when I took a flake out. So I took a flake out and I popped it in its original case tin to take up on the hill with me today. And to dry out of it. But what I first thought of was actually Jermaine's Rich Dark Flake. It smells very much like that. Something really equally as fruity. Now, I was rooting around in a box underneath my bed the other day. I came across this notebook. Now, I'm terrible for half filling a notebook with things and then binning it or sticking in a box, forgetting about it. It's a bit of a mania I have. So I found this one. My most popular video on YouTube, I think, has always been my one on Wistman's Wood, and this is the book that I was reading from when I was in Wistman's Wood years ago, because it's still got all of the information in it from that I'd written to do the video on Wistman's Wood. So that's going back to about 2016, I think it was. Yeah, shit, this is a long time ago. Anyway, so I made notes of the tobacco blend in here. Now it's Virginia and Oriental leaf. And as I said on the other video, these are made by Glodora Tobacco. It is all grown in Turkey. Specifically, Virginia is grown in, now you're going to have to forgive my Turkish pronunciation here, I'm afraid, Adıyaman, apparently. And the Orientals are from Bitlis, and this word I'm really going to butcher, Yeladag, Yaladag, Yaladag. Don't know how you pronounce that word. Anybody who's Turkish watching me, please forgive me. But it describes itself as smooth Virginias with floral aromas, fig and raisin. Now, yeah. When I think of an Oriental tobacco, I think of spicy. I think of that Izmir, spicy Izmir leaf. And this is nothing of the sort. What it does remind me of, immediately upon lighting, and even whilst I'm part way through the bowl here, if you've ever smoked a Shisha or a hookah pipe, and it's really funny because Tim and I were talking about this the other day, Hermit Piper and I. And I was talking about getting one because years ago when I was in university, I had a Syrian friend who lent me his. And it was really cool. We used to sit and smoke it at my house. I lost the deposit on my house because I knocked the thing flying and sent the hot coal that you burn the tobacco on across the carpet. And then some years later, when I was living in Cardiff, I used to go to a shisha bar there sometimes and just have mint tea and smoke a shisha. But that's what the tobacco smoke, that's what this tastes like to me. It's really, really sweet. That tobacco that you smoke in a shisha pipe, it's thick tobacco that's got a lot of molasses in it. Bear with me, I've got to let the dog in. Oh, there you go. Excuse me. Yeah. So that's what this tastes like to me. And I have to say, I'm not exactly sure that I'm keen. This is first impressions, mind, but I can feel it gurgling already, even though it's in a cob. And there's a feeling in the back, I'm getting in the back of my throat immediately. That's kind of, yeah, just reminds me of those nights when I would go to that shisha bar in Cardiff, and I'd smoke a few bowls with friends. I'd always wake up the following morning really feeling like, you know, like I'd chonged the stuff, which I was doing, of course. But I've got that feeling in my throat already, and I think it's the sugar. Now, I can't give you a room though, because I'm sitting out here smoking it. But every so often I just get a little waft, and it does just smell like that kind of shisha pipe tobacco. So, that being the case, that's put me right off buying a shisha pipe, actually, because maybe I like the idea more than I like the tobacco that you're smoking it. But I don't know, maybe it'll be different if it dried a bit. I'm not sure though. Also, and this perhaps lends some credence to my thoughts about it being a lot like a Shisha type tobacco. I noticed when I rubbed this flake out and broke it up, it had that kind of sheen on it that you have on American tobaccos, American pipe tobaccos, North American pipe tobaccos. That sort of like coated in shit to keep it burning. Unguents. Excuse me. Yeah, I've got a gurgle in my cob pipe. Who gets gurgles in their cob? So, there you go. Leo's quick review of Pesse Canoe Oriental Flake. First impressions, not a fan. Which is really interesting because I really did enjoy that 40% Latakia. Maybe that sort of rich smokiness of the Latakia takes away some of the sweetness. I don't know. Although that one was pretty sweet too. Maybe these tobaccos just are manufactured with some kind of sweetening agent like molasses in the same way as some of those tobaccos that are smoked in shisha pipes are. So, there you go. I may do a review of the 20% Latakia. Actually, perhaps I'm just thinking after smoking this now, it's probably more likely that I will do a review of the 20% Latakia blend. My original thinking was that, well, it's probably not that much different from the 40%. So who wants to do two videos which are virtually the same? But if it's basically halfway between the 40% and this, then I'd be interested to see how that one is. So I may do a first impressions of that. But in the meantime, have a happy new year. And if you're contemplating buying a shisha pipe, give this stuff a try first, because if you don't like this, you ain't gonna like a shisha. Alright folks, take care and a happy new year. See you soon.